We step into this edition of Ecofluence, a platform envisioned to bring together leading minds from across the country to discuss contemporary topics in economics and public policy. We take a moment to acknowledge and thank the Indian Economics Association for its instrumental role in shaping this event. For those of you who have come to the campus for the first time, while you're here, I strongly encourage you to take some time during your breaks or at your convenience to explore our beautiful campus. Nestled in a pollution-free environment, it offers a freshness that my colleagues and I are privileged to experience every day. For many of you, looking at a business school organizing an economics conference, the usual domain of universities or institutions specialized in economics, this may seem like an aberration. At IBA, we embrace such aberrations as part of our commitment to fostering interdisciplinary dialogue. When my colleague, Professor Prashant Kulkarni, proposed the first edition of Ecofluence, the idea was met with enthusiastic support. 1 year later, I stand before you, welcoming you to a much bigger and better Ecofluence 24, now spanning 3 days, featuring thought-provoking panel discussions, workshops, and invited sessions led by esteemed intellectuals. It is my honor to welcome Dr. Arvind Virmani, member of Niti Aayog, for the inaugural address. We eagerly await your insights, sir. I also extend a warm welcome to Dr. R.S. Deshpande, Chair of the Advisory Committee for Ecofluence 24, whose contributions to the field of economics in general and this conference in particular have been invaluable. We look forward to listening to you, sir.
Now, the idea for this conference came somewhere in one of those discussions we had maybe a year and a half ago, where it was thought that yes, we'll have some conference on economics and public policy. Now this theme, economics, is not something usually associated with business schools. There is a very strong tradition of economics in the country. In fact, Indian Economics Association, I think, is about 107 years old now, established in 1970. And I say economics conferences, economic seminars, etc., a market which perhaps Baumol or Cornell would have been proud of, or Bertrand for that matter. But trying to get into that would not have been an easy task. It's not something that it was without constraints. Constraints not in the internal sense, but constraints imposed by the market. But then we chose to get into it. We said we might be a B school, but B school is something also deeply inherent in economics. At the end of the day, we teach economics of business here. So we went into this, we ventured into this, and we said we'll begin with a competition. A little different, a little unique. Economics is basically pervades our daily life. And when it pervades our daily life, there are a lot of things which we see in and out, wherein somewhere or the other, we can detect explanations and economics for it. A tradition perhaps somewhere fostered by Thomas Schelling, when he wrote that very interesting book, Micromotives and Macro Behavior. Later, of course, Dr. Gary Becker carried out that, and then there was Robert Frank, who came with, I think, a very interesting book based on the assignments of the students, Why Economics Explains Everything. Stephen Levitt made it into a popular fiction kind of a thing. with those series of Freakonomics, etc., etc.
From the start of Adam Smith, today economics is a very well developed subject or discipline, and it offers a lot of opportunities for research. If we estimate the number of PhDs across the world, I think it must be around 150,000 or so. And number of PhDs awarded every year must run more than 10,000. So that shows the interest or the deep interest of research in this field. If we look at the India current status, and it is the fifth largest economy, and as we have heard from Dr. Vermani, by 2050, not only high income group, but it is going to be the third largest economy. And so therefore, with that expansion in economy, there are going to be a lot of new challenges. And the Ecofluence is basically designed to discuss those challenges. Today, all our corporate organizations, institutions, and individually we are also influenced by four fundamental forces: force of market, force of the state or force of government, force of people, and force of self or force of spirituality. Metaphorically, if you are in Delhi, and if you visit Delhi and go to a mad place, you can feel the force of market. If you walk towards Parliament, then you can feel the force of government or force of state. If you come to Jantar Mantar and some dharna is going on, then you can feel the force of people.
Then my first duty to say something about the Indian Economic Association. The Indian Economic Association is not only the oldest and largest body of the teachers, researchers, policy planners, and other interested in economics as a discipline, but it is also a unique institution that provides platform and equal opportunity to all branches of the subject and all sets of the opinion. Indian Economic Association has maintained an excellent balance between the theoretical and applied aspect of the economics and sustained interest of the young and upcoming members of the profession. Big names and stars have lent prestige to the association, like Professor Bhanumati, Professor Deshpande, Professor Mishra, and so many. Say some who are present in this hall, so I am mentioning his name. So, see some meaningful and ideas. Many other eminent economists in the middle order have worked day and night, keeping the organization going, but the real strength of the association lies in the mass of the younger generation, members, teachers, and doing research and struggling to survive and grow in the profession in relatively poor and low university and colleges, in non-metropolitan and far-flung and less developed region of the country like me.
Vermani sir have talked about Vikasit Bharat. This is an Ecofluence, and whenever I thought of, because Professor Subhash Sharma is one who brings out very new concept, and many of us may not be knowing this fluence is from influence or what, and we'll take it. It must be economics, influence of economics. It's not that. It's not that. It is ECO, fluence, and fluence has a dictionary meaning called magical power. This magical power is unleashed not by the people like me or who have all grey hairs. Magical power in the brains exists among those who are sitting here, and that magical power has to be evoked. provoked, and we need to get new ideas, new things. Friends, Nirmani sir has talked about Vikasit Bharat. Certainly, we are doing really well. But then when we look at the growth and decompose the growth, what have we achieved? 8%, 9%, 7%, up to 10%. Where did we achieve it from? Have we achieved it from manufacturing sector? No. Manufacturing sector has been moving around about 3.1, 3.2%. Have we achieved it from agriculture? No. 3.5%, etc. But have we achieved it from anywhere else? Yes. We have achieved it, all the things from service sector. And there is a danger of this. We are not realizing the danger of achieving something out of a shaky sector which can be shaken anytime.
Honorable Chief Guest, Chair of the Advisory Committee for this conference, Chief Mentor, Director Sir, colleagues and friends. I am extremely privileged to be here at this August moment to give the vote of thanks. At the outset, I thank the Governing Council and the management of IBA for hosting the 16th International Conference at IBA. Our chairman, Dr. Manish Jain, has stood steadfastly in evolving this conference. He has guided and facilitated throughout the evolution of this conference. We thank him for his avid interest and his continuous support towards evolving this conference.
Coming to the topic, I know Dr. Dalwai has been dealing with this public policy for a long time. I'm looking forward to listening to him. But I thought, let me also share some of my own, accidents with public policy. As a students of economics, we generally don't understand how this public policy is made. And I think Professor Deshpande also pointed out in the beginning, that a lot of times the policy comes from the top, sometimes from the west, but I think sometimes we don't know from where it comes.
Simple language, policy is an intent, is a statement of it. It lays down the direction. It lays down certain guidelines, parameters. But it is not a decision. In a sense, it is a decision, but it is not a decision. So policy is a very broad framework. As you keep listening about, is it a leftist ideology, rightist ideology, is it a centrist ideology? So it is a broad stroke brush. That is policy. Now policy can be made by an appropriate authority, and that policy becomes applicable to the society at large. The state, when you say state, it is not the federal state as in India, not Karnataka or Andhra Pradesh. The state, as the political scientists define, it is a nation state. And there are states. Now, before India became a republic, India became a republic in 1950. Before it became a republic, we had the colonial masters. The British colonial masters laid down policy for India in the British Parliament.
And we examined the working of 65 ministries that we done here. Now it was 1979 that the idea of training IS officers for public policy was mooted. It didn't go further. It was again taken up in 1986 and Chidanbaram and Manmohan Singh, I think, Mr. Chidambaram, I think, the Home Minister, Rajiv Gandhi, was Prime Minister, and the idea was that we should train our IS officers and the officers in general in public policy. Didn't happen. But in 89, I think there was a good Mr. Chandrasekhar was there. We prepared a paper, but that paper was prepared on the basis of the work that was done by Mr. Om Prakash. I don't know which batch you are, but I met him personally by Assam Ghana. And that one he was shifted from there to BOPT, and he became the establishment officer in the BOPT. And it was decided that a course of 1 year should be started in public policy at the Institute of Public Enterprise. Somehow we didn't start, and then the other two institutes, which are Institute, which are shortlisted, was the Japan Institute of Administration, IBA Delhi, and IIM Bangalore. And finally, that 1 year course came to IIM Bangalore.
Monopoly today. I'm the only person on the stage. And so this is true monopoly. Well, in English, there is a saying, food for thought. Very popular saying, food for thought. That means you are having some discussion, you are having some exchange of information, so much of scholarly presentation, all these things which are happening right from the beginning. And that is typically food for thought. It is a food not for stomach, but food for brain, food for thought. And that is an intellectual exercise. Very nice and very comfortable. Why do I say comfortable? I'll tell you later on. But against this saying of food for thought, I invented one more saying. Usually when I get a chance to present at this time of the day, this I call it as thought after food. Thought after food.
Manufacturing forms and the modern services, modern service sectors also. Both high-tech as well as brick and mortar, the earlier one. All are being taken into consideration in one world. All the activities are being taken into consideration for having a new India, India Inc., they call it India Incorporated. And the land, already land science is already there. And where is land here earlier? Where do you find land? On any government emblem. On any government, go to Bombay, go to Shahid Bhagat Singh Mark. There are two junctions are waiting, Reserve Bank of India. One lion is there, now it is converted into tiger, and a tree. It's not a palm tree, dead palm tree. That is there. So lion is a symbol, or tiger is a symbol of development, robustness, as well as a kind of stability. What happened actually? Next slide, please.
The next slide.
If I don't have the keyboard with me, every time I have to tell you. Then I'm hopping on the same string. Next slide, next slide, next slide. Doesn't look nice. They should have some keyboards, no? Yes, that is the Startup India. Let us come to the Startup India is very much related to the Viksit Bharat, the so-called Viksit Bharat slogan, I must say, as well as the Make in India slogans.